Hi, I'm Bart Hanson. I'm the owner and operator of CrushLivePoker.com. The following hand comes from our call-in show that we record at 4:45 p.m. Pacific Time every Monday. If you want to call in your hand, check out the phone number in the description.
I've got a hand for you. I've got multiple perspectives after asking my poker group, and they gave me mixed responses. I just want to see your take.
Okay.
So this is a hand from 2-5 in the Borgata.
Okay.
Effective stacks are 2K, a little bit over 2K, which is my stack.
Okay.
And we have 3 limpers from early position,
Yep.
and I overlimp with pocket fives on the cutoff.
Okay. So 3 EP limpers. Cut off, you have 5-5 and you overlimp. 2-5 Borgata. We have my friend Dave from New Jersey plays 2-5 for Borgata. But, if I'm just sort of akin to, I don't know if you know him, older guy. This is sort of akin to like my 5-5 game, that I'll sometimes play in LA. I think that there are times to overlimp, and that's one of them because I would rather like raise with like suited broadways and high cards in the spot than like a small pair. Because I'm going to assume that most of the people are going to call, and you're just not going to have any barreling equity. So you overlimp. I like that play.
Yep, thank you. And so the main villain is on big blind.
Okay.
He makes it 35.
Okay. So a little sweetener, sort of 7x, whatever.
Yep. We get a caller from EP1, EP2.
Yep.
And the other EP3 folds, and I call.
So EP2 calls, and then somebody else calls.
Everyone else folds and I call. Yeah.
Okay, so everyone. So three people.
All
right. Oh, Dave from New Jersey is in the live chat. What's up, Dave? So again, you probably P from China.
I might know him. I might know his face.
PEI. All right, cool. So 3 ways here, and the pot's a little bit over 100, right?
It's 115.
Okay. Yep.
All right, and so the flop is Jack of Hearts, 9 of Hearts, and 5 of Clubs.
So you flop bottom set.
I flop bottom set.
And you're 2K effective, so pretty deep.
Yep.
Okay.
And the main villain, who's big blind, he bets 65. EP2 folds, and I opt to raise to 185.
Okay.
And villain calls.
Okay. Like I said, just talking about the flop play, it's obviously a wet board. He's betting 65 here into a board that is rather wet into 2 people. I guess he could be bad and be bluffing like ace, king, ace, queen, but you're usually not going to get that type of action anyways.
Well, he's a fellow reg, so that's just a little description. He plays, he's a regular there.
I think that you probably could call sometimes and could raise. At this level, my approach is usually to fast play. But okay, so you raise, he calls. Turn?
Right. Turn comes 4 of Hearts.
So brings out a heart draw. Brings in the heart draw.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And he checks on the turn.
So do you have the 5 of Hearts in your hand?
No, I do not. I have the 5 of Diamonds and 5 of Spades.
And the 5 of Clubs is out there.
Yes.
Okay.
So he checks, and I decided that his range is pretty wide here, where I can get value. So I bet 215 into, I think it was 475. Something like that. 215 to 475.
Now wait a minute. So 215 to 475. Before we talk about whether or not this bet is correct or not, you said his range is pretty wide. Is that true?
Yeah, he's quite balanced. He could have anywhere between overpairs, top pair, maybe even top or middle set, even combo draws.
Well, maybe we're using the terminology wrong, but when someone says like their range is pretty wide, that usually means that like, you're talking about a spot where you see bet the flop really small, and they called like a 25-30% pot size bet, and then now you're on the turn, you're trying to figure out whether you're not going to bet or not. You're like, his range is wide. That's what I think of when I say range is wide. Here he raised to 30. He raised pre-flop, right, in a spot where he could have just taken a flop and bet this flop and called a raise. His range is not wide in my eyes. It's like going to be hearts or an overpair for the most part. Okay, all right. So, And that, if he has hearts or an overpair, and he doesn't have a heart overpair, then
Right.
he probably should fold. I mean, I think this spot is close. I think that against the preflop raiser, it's not terrible to continue to bet here on the turn. I think the better the player, the more I might think I might check, and the worse the player, the more I'd be apt to bet. But anyways, you bet 215.
Right. I bet 215, and he raises to 625.
Okay, so
check raise.
So right away, obviously you're going to call here because you're getting a price, but the only real bluffs that this guy could really have here would be like if he's calling and like sort of continuing correctly, would be like ace jack with like the ace of hearts or some shit like that, or turning like because he's probably shouldn't have ace king with the ace of hearts, and I just don't see that play all that much. I'm going to give this guy a lot of credit for having the nut flush here. People just aren't balanced enough here with bluffs. So, I mean, I think you can call and then evaluate sizing at the end.
You say you give him a lot of credit on the nut flush, and what about your medium flushes, like combo draws on the flop?
Yeah, he
like
could have. I
queen
mean,
or
he
king
could.
ten?
Yes, you're right. He could have like king. I'm just trying to think of the hand ranges that he raises from that spot pre-flop. I guess he could have king queen of hearts. He could have king 10 of hearts. But is he check raising those? You know what I mean? So
Right.
really the only flushes that he's going to have here that are high flushes are like ace, king, ace, queen, ace 10 of hearts.
Right, and I do put him. I do at this point. I do put him on the flush. So obviously I just call.
Yep.
I call, and the pot's about 1750 or something around that range.
So you've got about what, like 1200 left or something like that?
Correct.
Okay. Yep.
So river comes a deuce of hearts. So now we have a 4-liner. 4 hearts on board.
Yep.
And he checks.
And now he checks?
Now he checks. So this is the reason why I called.
Mm-hmm.
Because do you see a shove here being profitable?
I wouldn't shove here just because, again, I don't... Now, you say, like I said, I mean, sometimes we get caught up in this. You say the guy is a solid player, okay? And the reason why I'm really saying that is that if he's a solid player, he should never be raising out of... I mean, the real crux of this hand and the hand reading going on is pre-flop. If he's a solid player, he should not be raising out of the big blind to 35 over 4 limps with some sort of mid-ish suited connector. He shouldn't even have queen 10 of hearts here. He really should have ace king of hearts. Ace king of hearts, ace queen of hearts, maybe ace 10 of hearts, maybe king queen of hearts. Like I said, he shouldn't really even have king 10. So, I'm trying to figure out what he has here, unless he was just totally like doing something like crazy. So let's assume that he doesn't have the ace of hearts. That sort of leaves like king queen of hearts. And is he check like if I were him and I somehow had king queen of hearts or king 10 of hearts and I check raise turn and the river was another heart, it's sort of hard for me to have sort of put you on the ace of hearts that wasn't like a 2-card nut flush, because what hand do you have on the flop that you're raising with? Do you know what I mean? Like, is it ace jack with the ace of hearts, something like that? For some reason, like, I feel like, and maybe I'm wrong, that something's going to happen where you go check and he's going to like turn over a set or something and you lose. But I don't think that I would turn my hand into a bluff here, is my question.
Okay, well, no, I appreciate the input.
Yeah.
Well, I did decided that he could only really call a shove with the ace of hearts, and if he has any other flush that end up being counterfeited, so-called.
Yeah, but what other flushes does he have, though? My only thing, like the only thing that I could think of here is that if I could bluff him off of a set, but I don't think a set's going to play it this way.
But I do believe, I mean, I do put, all the other non-ace flushes in his range, like king 10, king queen, maybe queen 10, because I have seen him raise with, suited broadways before out of the blinds.
I mean, again, over 4 people though, and then check raise the turn with king queen 10 of hearts after you raise the flop. I mean, I guess it's possible, but I mean, you're really looking at trying to bluff him off of 1, 2, or 3 combos that it's even questionable if they're even there. So what did you do? You went for a bluff?
Yeah, I jammed.
Okay.
And he snap call with ace 10 of hearts.
Yeah. So he slow played at the end. Ace of hearts, 10 of hearts. I mean, that's a cool hand. I'm just telling you what I'm telling you what my gut was there at the end is that I don't think you're gonna get him off of much.
Right. I mean, I didn't think about too much on the whole pre-flop analysis like you did.
Yeah.
I just figured that I had close to none showdown value with my set, and I felt like because he checked the river, I could probably get a all in through, get a jam through. That was the way I was looking at the hand at the moment. But of course, I thought about it and asked my peers around. That's why I called in.
Okay. All right, man. Thanks for the call. Appreciate it. Hey guys, if you like what you've seen here, please click on the subscribe button and you'll get notified every time we put up a new video. And if you want to check out CrushLivePoker.com for the first month free, use the code YTA200. Click on the link right there.